Welcome to Course 13. So far you've learned a lot about Weedman and your day-to-day job requirements. In this course, we're going to talk about what the general expectations of your day-to-day duties will be. And as previously indicated, every franchise will have their own guidelines for you, which will be outlined after your online training is complete. Let's talk about your daily shift goals. Success starts with knocking on as many doors in a 3-hour period as you can. Your pace in between the houses will have a big impact on you hitting your targets or not. What we look for is hustle. If you're walking at a slow pace, it will show in your numbers. Remember, we are here to generate leads for our service advisors, and based on historical statistics, we will typically budget a minimum of 75 homes to be knocked on in a 3-hour period. That's 25 homes per hour. The expected number of homes knocked will vary from night to night, mostly because of the style of neighborhood that we're in will dictate just how many homes we can get to. For an example, if you're in an area where there are big homes and small lot sizes, we should easily expect to knock on over 100 doors. The larger the lot size, the more spread out the homes will typically be. Just remember, whatever style neighborhood that you're working in, you'll need to hustle in between the houses and be sure that you don't waste time working through your assignments. Now let's discuss your daily contacts with homeowners. As previously discussed, we know that not everyone will answer the door when we knock. We also know that based on historical data, we should expect an average of 38% or higher to answer when we knock. So based on simple math from the previous slide, we should expect to speak with between 28 to 41 people in a 3-hour period. That works out to be a minimum of 28 potential prospects that you will make a presentation to. Remember, you're often the first impression for a potential customer. Let's make it a great one. And finally, how many leads should we generate daily? We know we should expect 1 out of every 4 people that we speak to will say yes. Remember guys, this is a free, no obligation estimate on lawn care. Who wouldn't want free information on how to achieve a nicer lawn? Remember guys, we're the experts here. Based on the simple math, in a 3-hour period, you should expect to generate a minimum of 7 leads, and likely you should expect to generate several more, especially if you're confident in your approach. So let's break this down even further. When you get 9 leads, how many leads would that be per hour? That's right, 3 leads per hour. If you break that down even further, that's 1 lead every 20 minutes. It almost seems too easy to find one person in 20 minutes to say yes to a free, no obligation estimate. Some of our best door knockers exceed this expectation every shift. And what we ask of you is that you put the effort in every day and work hard to achieve these goals. Your contribution matters to our entire team. Let's talk about the administration required. And when talking about administration, we're referring to the responsibility that you have on a day-to-day basis to make sure that you're completing the basic tasks of your job. Here's an example: sign in and sign out procedures. This is how you're going to be paid. So this is pretty important, don't you think? Also, make sure to fill out and submit any new employee information, tax forms, etc. This is also how you'll be registered to receive payment. Your supervisor or manager will provide you with instructions on what their expectations are. Make sure to follow them. Let's talk about tablets. We provide tablets for you to use during your shift. Be sure to take care of these. Without them, you'd have to go back to the old paper method. And trust me, it's a lot more work manually collecting the information. Please be careful when you're handling the tablets. We want to ensure that we don't break any screens or damage them beyond repair. At the end of the night, be sure to plug your tablet back in at the charging station or return it to your manager for safekeeping. There may be additional direction from your manager or supervisor regarding the handling of the tablets. And finally, the company uniform is a non-negotiable part of employment with our company. You must always be in khaki pants, a Weedman shirt, and a Weedman safety vest at a minimum. Some franchisees will also provide jackets, beanies, ball caps, and carrier bags as part of the uniform. These uniforms are not yours to be kept. We expect that at the end of your employment with our company that all uniform items will be returned to your manager. In most cases, uniforms will only be available when you report to work. We do not typically allow uniforms to go home with you. So please ensure that you arrive to work in enough time to get dressed and be ready for your shift. Now let's talk about record keeping. As we've indicated throughout this program, Weedman has been very diligent in collecting data over the years. It is one of the reasons that our business continues to be so successful and grow year over year. By collecting and analyzing data on our business, it provides greater understanding on how we can maximize our efficiencies and provide the best product and service to our clients. So what's your role in all of this? Well, as we previously indicated, the Toega door knocking app on the tablet will gather and store all data points throughout your shift. It'll track the total number of houses knocked, the total number of contacts. Now let's keep in mind what a contact is. It's a homeowner that we've made a presentation to, and they've either said yes to the free estimate or no for whatever reason. We need to talk with the adults of the home. It's not okay to generate a lead from a child or a teenager unless otherwise stated by your supervisor. Okay, so a contact is a homeowner or adult of the home. And lastly, it'll be tracking the total number of yeses. And a yes is defined as a homeowner that has agreed to the free estimate and they've given us permission to call them. We will be monitoring your contact rate percentage and your yes lead rate percentage. Your role is to ensure that you are dispositioning accurately every time. What we mean by that is when you knock on a door and no one answers, you would flag that record as no answer. If the homeowner says they're not interested, you would flag that record as not interested. If the homeowner agrees to the free estimate, you would capture the relevant information, their phone number, their first and last name, confirm the address, and then capture their authorization signature. It is paramount to our success that the data we are collecting is accurate. We ask you to do one final double check with the homeowner prior to moving on to the next address on your list. Your job is to ensure that you are logging all of the information accurately on a day-to-day basis. The tablets are real time, so your supervisor will be monitoring your performance throughout the night. Once you've completed your online training, your manager will provide you with additional training on the tablet application. Deliverables are achievable. We know that you will be successful in this opportunity. We are here to help. Here are some basic guidelines for your role within our company. Achieve the budgeted lead generation goals. Serve as a carrier of company culture. Act polite and courteous always. Share the company culture at every point of contact with all prospects. Exhibit strong lead generation qualities by consistently modeling behaviors that are aligned with company goals. Wear proper assigned uniform while being neat and tidy with your personal appearance. Be sure to report to work on time and participate in opening speeches and develop a winning mindset for the lead generation hours. And make sure to have consistent execution of company policies, procedures, and systems. Lastly, let's talk about why we go door to door to generate leads for our business. You see, back in the old days, we could develop leads over the phone. We had neighborhood homeowner data, including phone numbers. And we would call everyone in select neighborhoods and offer them a free, no obligation estimate. Well, several years ago, the government created an option for consumers to opt out of receiving phone calls from any business and created a registry known as the National Do Not Call Registry. This is administered by the Federal Trade Commission. So, companies like ours had to avoid calling anyone that signed up to be on that list. So as you can imagine, our calling list shrunk by a lot. So because of this, we decided the best way to follow the law was to go door to door asking the homeowners for their permission for us to call them. Obviously, this is quite costly, but remember one of our core values, integrity. We will always do what's right. The do not call list is an obstacle, but with your help, we can still provide free, no obligation lawn care information to those that are interested. The best part is that now, thanks to your help, we have their permission to do so. With that being said, it's imperative that you provide our service advisors with legitimate leads, which means the homeowner agreed to receiving free lawn care information and advice, as well as a free estimate of our services, and they've given us permission to call them with this information. We cannot accept and will not tolerate anything less. Fraudulent leads are grounds for immediate dismissal, and keep in mind, if a complaint is registered with the FTC on a lead that you generated, you could be involved in a litigation case. I know this message is not for most of you, but I only mention it as we have made a poor hire in the past, and it has happened before. Please remember, we chose you to join our team, and we believe in you. Let's stay positive and do the job that you were hired to do properly. Our next course will go into more detail about the importance of quality work.